Absolutely.
Yes, yes. Oh man, my heart breaks seeing those faces. You know, we're just going to keep praying. We're just going to keep praying. All right, let's take a look at the radar. The good news is the rain ending for now. I'm watching two little clusters. You can see dropping just near Fredericksburg, very heavy rainfall. This shows you that this atmosphere is far from dried out. We still have a lot of tropical moisture. We've got a lot of high dew point temperatures at the surface. And by tonight, the low-level jet returns. And that is a nocturnal weather feature at about 8,000 feet above the surface. That is a high wind speed, kind of a ribbon of air that moves right across this area and creates a tremendous amount of instability. And that's what leads to those heavy pockets of rain, that true rain bomb that we saw occur early this morning. So that's what we're expecting again overnight tonight. But right now, this heavy rain dropping in near Fredericksburg, this is a strong thunderstorm, and you can see the amount of lightning building. So this is actually strengthening and building as it drops to the south near Fredericksburg. Also, Marble Falls will be getting some pretty heavy rain. But for Kendall County, it's more light to moderate. This could be moving a little farther south. After moving through Fredericksburg, it could be into Kendall County. We're going to be keeping a close eye on that and closer even to Canyon Lake. But for San Antonio and some spots to the south, it's drying out. What got us here? Take a look. This is when the rain started and really just exploded at about 5, 6 a.m. Look at that. Rain was already occurring, and then it just sat over Kerrville for so long that we get into those double-digit rainfall totals. You can see that this, again, is updating all the time, a continuous update. We're closer to an inch now at San Antonio International, over 3 near Fair Oaks Ranch, and then nearly 8 at Bandera. Now the bullseye remains west of Kerrville. The double-digit totals, nearly a foot of water came from the sky. You've got 6.5 near Bandera, 5 near Medina, Texas, and then you've got 4.5 plus near Bernie, and then east of Comfort, 7.5 inches. So that's why the Guadalupe River is the biggest concern, with the rising water heading towards Canyon Lake, and we still have a huge flash flood warning in effect for areas west of Kerrville, pretty much western Kerr County. If you're unfamiliar with the area, remember, we are in Bexar County, B-E-X-A-R, watch verse warning. A watch means exactly what the word says. We're watching as conditions are favorable for storm development or possible flooding. When we go to warning, that means the storm has moved in. The flooding is occurring in that area. Speaking of which, let me update you on what we've got with the river levels. At the Guadalupe River at Spring Branch, it's still rising. We're expecting major flooding at 37.2 feet at 3 a.m. Saturday. So after midnight is when the Spring Branch location of the Guadalupe River is going to crest at 37.2. At Bergheim, 41.85. Now, I could not find a flood stage for the Guadalupe at Bergheim, but if you remember 2018, the level got up to 39.02, and we're coming up on 42 feet, and it's cresting as we speak. So that's good news. It won't go higher unless we get a lot more rainfall tonight and tomorrow morning. I'll show you future radar in a moment. At Comfort, almost 35 feet. It's already crested. Flood stage 21. So look at that, almost 35 feet. And then at Kerrville, we've already crested at 23.4, but the flood stage is 9. This is incredible when you look at this number. The river rose, Guadalupe, 26 feet in 45 minutes. That is a higher level than the 1987 flood. And now there's more rain in the forecast. Here's what we've got for 3 a.m. and that crest at that hour, right? I just showed you. Well, you can still see rain falling over that spot. Okay, and as we work our way into the sunrise hour, this is 7 a.m., and we start seeing thunderstorms develop, and that's going to be near New Braunfels and Canyon Lake, and then pushing west into the city and the 281 corridor up into Kendall County and even into Blanco County. This is mid-morning now, and then Saturday afternoon, look at that. It just sits still. Okay, so you go from 11 a.m. where it's gotten really heavy. This is the 3 p.m. and it hasn't moved much. This could be 4 solid hours of very heavy rain in northern Bexar County up into Kendall County, clipping Kerr County, not hitting the bullseye I showed you, which is still out to the west, but awfully close. Remember, this is a prediction. It could happen there. It could happen here. But I'll tell you what, this model has done an incredible job in the last 48 hours. Most of it dying down as we get into the nighttime hours tomorrow. But we're looking at 4 solid hours of heavy rainfall tomorrow with that model prediction. Now, see, this is the difference. The second model, the graph, which I've leaned on a lot during the spring weather events, the graph outperformed the HRRR. In this event, the HRRR is outperforming the graph. We look at all of these models, and these are the top 2. So here's 7 a.m. Saturday and very heavy rain, Floresville up to Austin, then pushing into the city in the afternoon. And look, that was a very slow, I mean, that wasn't a lot. That was maybe 30 miles in the course of several hours. So that's very slow moving, and that's still very heavy rainfall rates. This is all tropical. So either way, here's what to take away. Both models agree we're going to get a burst of more heavy rainfall. The difference is just the timing and the exact location, but they're both within a county or 2 of each other. So we're still looking at the I-35 to I-10 corridor and really nothing south. I mean, if you're south of San Antonio, you're out of the woods on this, but it's really between I-35 and I-10 that we're expecting this burst of very heavy rain. This is the prediction for tonight. On the Severe Prediction Center's flood outlook, we're in a level 2, a slight risk, and then a marginal risk south of the city into Atascosa County, Wilson County. Tomorrow, marginal risk with the slight risk up towards Kerrville. This is Saturday, and about half, almost 2/3 really, of Kendall County. Now, don't get lost in these words. Marginal and slight doesn't sound serious, but when you're talking about a 1 and a 2 level out of a possible 5, 5 is the top. 1 or 2 is significant. Slight is significant. Here's the latest numbers on what we're expecting in the gauge. And this has been improving with every run. This keeps dropping in Kerrville, and that's really good news. Now, just about 3 hours ago, this was at 1.25 inches. It's now down to 0.05. So significant change with the model really zoning in on most of the rain from San Antonio up the I-35 corridor, 2 3/4 up to 3 inches New Braunfels, almost 4.5 between San Marcos and Austin. That would be good in the sense that if it all falls here, it's not falling here, okay? Because they could probably handle a lot more rain than Kerr County, Kendall County, even Medina County. Outside right now, we're pretty socked in here in the city. Temperature is at 80. Light rain continues to fall in San Antonio, dew point 77. Tropical, just does not change. And remember, this is not a cold front, so we don't change air masses. We continue to see southeast winds pour in a lot of this moisture, although we're getting a little bit of a northeast wind right now. 75 Bandera, Bernie, 80 at Timberwood Park, as warm as 86 at Pleasanton. We're starting to cool down now. We were closer to 90 about 2 hours ago for Floresville and Stockdale. All right, if you're heading out, I just got off the phone with Bill Drain. Bill Drain is my man, executive producer of a lot of our city events. So I reached out to see about the Woodlawn Park firework and celebration for the 4th, as well as the Alamo celebration at 9:30. 9 p.m. Woodlawn Park, 9:30 at the Alamo. Everything is moving forward as planned. Now, if you're heading out there, it looks like it'll be dry. It will be cloudy. It'll be humid, and I'm hoping for these winds. I know that can be a detriment with fireworks, but with the flooding, we need some winds. We're not going to see skies clear out. So because of that, we're not expecting the sun to help us. It's going to be the wind that really dries us out. And so that'll be a significant help. We could start seeing the rain develop again as early as midnight, but as I showed you, the models are leaning more towards middle hours of overnight, but it's definitely going to be a possibility as soon as we get into the midnight hour. Over the weekend, we're still expecting heavy rain on Saturday, 50% up until the mid-afternoon, 90 maybe, and then we're dropping rain chances for Sunday as we hit about 93, and we should get some sunshine. 14-day forecast. All of tomorrow now is going to be a weather impact alert because we've got a 40 to 50% chance of rain, and additional flooding is a concern, 89. Sunday, 93. And then a slight chance of an isolated shower Monday, Tuesday. Weather impact alerts for Thursday, Friday will be with Saharan dust. That's going to be on the 10th and the 11th. All this moisture has been keeping that dust at bay, but now we see it return once we start drying out and warming up. Henry, it looks like, again, we're going to have to prepare for more rain overnight tonight and early Saturday. We're not done just yet. We're
Not
going
in
to have
the
to watch
clear,
closely.
but we need the winds. Thanks so much, Bill.
Yes,